Alright everyone, welcome back. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk a bit about the industry and building up your industry, different ways of doing that, and we'll just have a little bit of fun on the side. I'll explain about some of the different descriptions and the texts that you'll see along the way, because to be honest, it took quite a while to come up with some interesting ideas of describing these things, to make it more interactive and more enjoyable. And you'll see that there's quite a bit of a storyline behind this, and we'll involve ourselves with that as we go as well. So let's get started with our building of the industry. What we're going to do is, if you remember, we had our storage here which collected everything. So let's confirm and see what exactly is going on in this storage. If you want to consult any of your constructs, we can do that simply by going at the bottom here under industry mode. We click the industry mode icon, and at the right hand side you'll see everything that you have in your storages and throughout. Here we have our OIDs. So we have a lot of OIDs. What is an OID exactly? Well, an OID is pretty much one of two types of all these terrain cubes here. So an OID is the more common one, the more general one. There's no one OID that is more important than the other. It's just a matter of quantities depending on what we're going to build. And you're going to see there is a pattern to this. It's not just up in the air. It was well thought out. There's an actual pattern to this. So right now, if we look, there are 8 OIDs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's actually one missing. But we have quite a few number of the different ones. These OIDs are what we're going to use to build the industry. Minerals are empty. The mineral is actually the next one. Between OIDs and minerals, those two you'll find throughout your terrain. The rest of the stuff we'll get to afterwards, but we will need some minerals and we will definitely need some OIDs to build whatever it is we want to. We can see on the left hand side we have our storage containment units. There are 2 right now. This one here at the top, which if we click the little magnifying glass, it brings us to the one that was originally brought down from space. And we have our second one that we just built now. So we're going to click on the little magnifying glass. It brings us there. So you can see that's a pretty quick navigation instead of this whole arrow back and forth thing. We can actually use those. All right, so it's a good idea to rename these. So let's rename it. Here's one storage. We're going to rename it. This is our initial one, so it's starting the whole process. Right now, it does have only OIDs in it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to call this one by clicking on it. And here is the storage containment unit. And I'm going to rename it, and I'm actually going to call this one OIDs. So I have one specific for OIDs. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go into the edit mask here, and I will make sure that only OIDs go into this storage. So the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to filter this thing out. We are going to have an industry that's going to be amazing and really complex by the end. And you want to have control over everything. It's up to you, actually. Well, you could just throw everything in one if you want to be really compact. But I'm going to be compact, but a little bit more, I want to separate them a little bit more. So here I have this. I'm going to choose none, as in do not select anything. And in my drop down here, I have OIDs highlighted, and I will choose all shown. There's no enter, that's it. Once you do that, only OIDs will come in here. I'll close those. Great. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to have a second filter, a second storage, and I'm going to use that particular storage to receive only minerals. Between the two, combining them, that's where we create the rest of our industry. So I originally was going to do this along the floor, but instead I think I'm going to do it up against the wall. I'm going to do it up against the wall. Now I know I have a lot of space here. I have quite a height to go with. I'm going to do it up against the wall. As you can see, really strategy can change. So I'm going to do it up against the wall. And even more so, I'm going to have a little bit more fun with this. I'm actually going to excavate. I'm going to remove the wall. And you'll see that you really don't need this. And the reason why I'm going to do this is actually for the visuals to show you guys. Oh, I don't want that one. I'm going to, just to show you a little bit more of the visuals, so that we can see it even from the back end, because I want to really show you what we can do here. So I'm actually just, since I've started my excavation, I'm just fast forwarding it. Here they go. I really want to show you from all angles how this, what we can do here. And now you can see it's kind of out of place. I'll show you how we'll arrange that one. All right, pause again. And I'm going to change that up actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a new storage. I'm going to go into my build mode. If you remember this one, we have industries, storage, and I'm going to change it up. So I'm going to actually put it somewhere here. Yeah, I'm going to put it somewhere over here because I want to spread out both ways. I'll get to that one afterwards. I'll put someone over there. Actually, you know what? Even still, whoops. Even still, I'm going to change it up again. You can see I'm really doing this on the fly. So I have one storage over here. This will be my new oids. I'm going to move that one over there. And I'll have a new one here next to it. I'll do it vertical. Why not? You know what? You see how often I'm changing my mind here. So I'm changing my mind. This is why it's really important to be on pause. Because you can do all these different changes and it really won't affect anything until you unpause it. And then it might be you can change it, of course, but you'll have to do a little bit of extra. So I actually allowed that to happen. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to unpause this and watch them build. All right, so I got a couple of my utility drones that are going. I'll fast forward this so they come out faster. They went to the other storage to bring them here. And there they go. All right, so now I got two new storages, and I'm going to redo, in industry mode, I'm going to redo my filter. So I'm going to take this one, edit mask, and I'll even rename it. So none and only all shown. So that's going to be my new oids one. That's my new oids. And I'm going to do the same thing up here, edit mask, none. And I'm going to change it to minerals this time. All shown, so minerals. And I'll rename it minerals. All right, this one will eventually disappear, so I'm just going to just cut out the name of that one, put it back to unnamed, and this will be my new oids. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. Oids. Okay, so now to make sure that whatever I collected in here goes to the new oids, I am going to take this little storage, and I'm going to click on Relocate Content. But actually, even before I do that, I'm going to go into the original, to the new oids, and I'm going to change priority to 1. That means that as soon as I collect anything and it's an oid, it will go there first before any other. That's an important thing because I'm about to click Relocate Content. So everything here, instead of going to the original storage that's way up at the top, it's going to go into that one there. Relocate Content, unpause, and there they go. You can see what's happening. It's unloading from one, reloading to the other. There's your saves. This might take a bit of time to do, but you can see when you have enough, it works well. We're almost done here with that. Okay, we're going to pause it. Okay, so now we have that one. That one's empty. We're going to remove that one afterwards. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to finish the rest of our collection and clear that up. And we'll get rid of that at the same time. Okay, so we're going to do more collecting, and then we'll get to our industry. So, you know, when it comes to strategies, we're thinking about it all the time. We're trying to understand what exactly we're going to do here. And again, we might change it. It's still really at the beginning. So if you recall what I was doing last time, the collections, don't forget, they can be damaged by them. And here they go, collecting more. All right, so now we have this little one here. The storage unit's kind of out of the way. We're going to take it out of the way. And how do we do that? We're going to go into your build mode. And way at the top under commands, we have Deconstruct. So using Deconstruct, selecting this storage, pressing enter, and there you go. It's deconstructed, and it turns into its own little collectible. With that, we're going to use the exact same command as before when it comes to collecting. Excavate, collect, that little storage containment unit, and it'll actually bring it back to the original one, which is fine. There we go. Now we're back where we started and ready to build our next steps. I'm going to save this. I know we have our autosave, but I'm going to save it under the original name. All right, we'll actually call it this row 2. Okay, so when it comes to designing your industry, I'm going to give you the basic little guide here, and at the same time, while I'm going through this, if you're looking at it and you have any ideas or suggestions on what you can do to change the configuration or to advance a different configuration, you know, the strategy is like this. If you want something compact, you try and figure out how to, you know, keep it as tight as possible. Reusing, so here I've already separated 2 oids and minerals. If you want it that compact, you should perhaps just have one with both. I'm separating it to kind of maximize a bit of the wall here. But if you have any suggestions, or if you're trying it on your own and you see that something you have a different design, don't hesitate. You know, send up your designs through the forum. You can talk about it and explain it and say perhaps why yours is very efficient, or otherwise. So let's go here. We have our depositories. Again, like I said, I want to build in the end, I want to build a particular depository. You must build these depositories because without them, of course, you can't do anything else. These are like the factories. So I want to build a few of them. Let's see. We're going to build 2 different ones in particular. And you know what? Let's go even more so. We're gonna focus on building 3 particular depositories. We're going to build the generator, the gather, and we're going to concentrate on the structure. We're going to build 3. But of course, if I build 3, that enemy, it definitely will come. So while I'm thinking about those, I must take into account my military. We must be able to defend ourselves. Right now, I only have 2 defenders. That will not be enough if we start making these grow. I'm still on cycle 4, so I got some room, but I have to think about that. So we're going to advance in, let's say we advance in our generator and gathers and our structure, and we're going to see what comes our way. Perhaps we won't be prepared, but we're going to be saving enough that, well, maybe we'll have to second guess and change our mind. Let's go ahead and do that. And one thing, your main depository, you must protect this one at all costs. And right now, this one, if I click the magnifying glass, is nowhere. No, it actually is somewhere. It is in our storage unit right at the top. So he's actually floating in there. It should not be there, because if an enemy comes and we're not prepared and the enemy destroys that, well, that's gone too, and that is our most important piece of the whole game. So what we're going to do then is we're going to place it. It will be necessary. It will be used. So we will be placing it along with our industry. You must have this one in order to build the rest. All right, so I will place it, not right this second, but I will as soon as I figure out where the rest of these are going. Let's see, generator unit depot, this is the one I want. I'm going to click on the little question mark here, and it tells me in order to build a generator unit depot, I need these particular parts. I need 10 deltoids, 9 epsiloid, 5 zetoid, 1 yttrinium, and 1 urtite. Yttrinium and urtite are minerals. The other 3 are oids. So by looking at my industry, deltoid 63, I have definitely enough to make that. Epsiloid 28, I have enough to make that one. Zetoid 5, I have 17, there's enough. Yttrinium and urtite, I'm missing those. So when I start my excavation, I'm not going to be excavating any more oids or minerals or just going crazy. I really want to focus on what I need. Right? I don't have a lot of time. So if I'm excavating other things, the enemy's going to come, I'm going to have a problem. All right, so let's have a quick look at yttrinium. What exactly is yttrinium? So in conjunction with the discovery of oids, scientists have seen that the compounding agents in them can be extracted. So oid is the main element, and the mineral comes from the oids. using the development process as well. So these agents, now known as minerals, have been classified by their rarity found in oids. Rarity in oids. So what does that mean? I mentioned oids. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. But minerals, absolutely there is a difference. The more advanced, the more stronger, the more rare the oids, the minerals, then the higher the things that you're going to be able to build, and the more scarce they are. You will not be able to find the most rare mineral right at the top. Okay, it has been realized that the older the oid, the more rare the minerals to be found within them. So it can therefore be presumed the rarest of the minerals are found in the farthest depths where they came from. The older oids are at the bottom. Those are the most rare. Trinium has been identified as one of the 3 most common. Okay, so if I click on minerals, there's a lot of links here. If I click on minerals, I can see that these are the 6 minerals. Laotribullium is the most sought out. It is the most rare. To find this one, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a congratulations. That is very rare, and if you find it, it's amazing the things you can build with it. Definitely, if you find one or you create one, you do not want to let that go without thinking exactly where it's supposed to go for you, right? Everybody's strategy is different. So yttrinium and uretite. Uretite is also a common mineral, and here it's used to make all these items. So now you have an idea a little bit more about minerals. Yttrinium, uretite, and cyanine, these 3 are more common. Subiniac and piatkylite, these are more rare, and laotribullium is the rarest. Okay, so these, this 4th one and 5th one you'll find further down, and this number, the 6th one, you'll definitely find low, low, low. All right, so how many do we need to make it? We need 1 of each. So if I want to build the 2 different factories, the 2 different depositories, generator and gather, if I look at the gather one, right, the gather also tells me that I need 1 yttrinium and 1 uretite. So pretty much between the 2, based on my quantities, I only need to find 4 special cubes, and I can build it. Right, so try not to feel overwhelmed by the immensity of the game. I know it might feel a little overwhelming, but don't worry about it. Once you start breaking things down, it's not that difficult. The most difficult part is your own personal strategy, trying to figure out how to beat out the RECOGs, and that's just based on you and your willingness to take them on and to figure out a strategy that works best for your designs. So 1 yttrinium and 1 uretite. Let's see if we can find those. All right, so how do we look for them? If we click on excavate mode, you can kind of see the text that appears everywhere. Start getting familiar with the colors and the textures. This is a deltoid. There's a deltoid. You can see there's a zetoid. So here's cyanine. That's not the one we want. Or it is, and I don't remember. Let's see again. Uretite. So yttrinium and uretite. Those are the 2 we want. So you can start looking from the top. Oh, and I think I found it. There it is, yttrinium. So yttriniums. And when you're looking at these, okay, keep in mind that they're not just randomly placed every single cube. When you find one, it's a vein. So if you find one, good chance you'll find another one. All right, so they are pretty much connected to each other. So here's a couple, and I'm going to dig out that one, and we'll dig out that one and this one, and we'll just dig out a few, right? So I'm not spending too much time with this. Don't have a lot of time. That enemy is coming. So I'm going to fast forward this one and have them run. So they dig it, and now I'm going to collect them. So here they are, yttriniums. So I got a couple here. Now, I'll need them afterwards to build the actual generators, but this is for the factory. So there's my yttriniums. I'll pause it again. And I'm going to go into excavate, and I'm going to look right away for the uretite. So keep that in mind. Yttrinium is blue. So there's more. There's subiniac. All right. Oh, so Saline and Subiniac, right? There was some rare ones that we found there, eh? Just got to keep an eye on them. Remember them. Alphoids. I guess that rocket really went low down to the ground. Low down in the inside. So we're looking for uretite. We're looking for uretite. Do you see it? I don't see it yet. Later on, you're going to see once you actually once you have your technology and you upgrade to survey or discover or some of these, you'll see that this whole manipulation now that we're kind of doing one by one, you can fast track it by level and pretty much the whole map in one shot to say, for example, collect all the Triniums out there, the ones that are dug, of course, or survey. Survey would be all the cubes that you have not dug, where are the Triniums? So that's a very practical way. That's a little bit more advanced. You have to unlock them first. There is a lot of unlocking going on in this game. So here I'm still looking for it. If I don't find it based on the visuals here, I'll actually have to start digging. And when I'm digging low, that's where we have to pay attention to lava. So here's some lava. We're gonna work on that one as we need it. And say 9. Well, there's no Utrinium anywhere. Eh? No uretite. Sorry, uretite. There's no uretite. Okay, if I don't find any, then we're going to have to, like I said, we're going to have to start digging for it. Okay, so that means that it's somewhere in these gray areas. Where exactly, I don't know. But we're going to have to start digging. So let's use a little bit of Discover. So we're going to go into Discover, and we're going to click, for example, this one over here. We can actually click a few of them. Don't need to click, whoops. Let's cancel. We don't need to click the gray. What we need to do is click the ones that are actually filled in. And that one is too far down. They can't actually get to it. So let's pause that again, and let's see where can we go that they can have access. Nope. Not possible because they're buried. Whoops. Alright, let's see. Where else can we go? What else can we... Let's go high up. Let's see. What about these areas here? There they go. And those are not. Nope. Nope. So you can see this is the part of the game where it could be quite interesting, and once you really start knowing your terrain, you'll know exactly where everything is. Some more Subiniac. That's going to be a good one later on. More uretite. More uretite. You can see because it's the vein, as I mentioned to you. Once you find one, it'll be a little bit easier. This is a strategy game. It is a slow-paced game for example, like now. So take your time with it and enjoy the run. You know, enjoy the terrain, enjoy the music in the background, enjoy the sounds, and just have fun with it while you're thinking about your strategy and what you want to do. In a little while, we'll actually be doing some contests regarding industry, regarding designs of how your industry is put together, you know, the best design, the most compact, or, you know, different ideas like that. So keep an eye out for that on the forums. We will be having some contests, cash prize contests for you guys. So, you know, it'll definitely allow you to really explore and experiment, and at the same time, you know, get a little cash on the side. So that's great. All right, I am kind of stuck here. According to this, this map is not very easy for me here in terms of what's available. And I am wasting time in terms of my cycles. So what we're going to have to do, it looks like, is dig. So I'm going to do something interesting here. I'm going to actually excavate right through. So at the same time, knowing that I have to excavate, I am actually going to create little tunnel systems here. I don't want to necessarily destroy everything. I still want to use it. But here I'm creating little tunnel systems here. And let's let that go. At the same time, trying to get into certain areas in here that perhaps will allow me to understand what exactly is going on. These are more deltoids. So let's see if we make a little tunnel system this way. Maybe we'll get across it. There's a different one. So we're just going to keep on going here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pause this video, and I'm going to keep on going and see if I can discover anything else. And once I actually find it, then I will unpause and get back to you guys with the next steps with this. All right, everyone. So actually, I didn't have to pause very long. As soon as I started digging my little path here, I found it. So here's the uretite, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see where else. And there's also on the bottom too. So I definitely found a little uretite spot here. There's quite a bit, so that's good. I'm going to keep on excavating this. All these red uretites, so keep in mind uretite is red. And let's see if we can grab a little bit more here. So there's quite a bit. I'm going to grab all these because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need them. And let's grab a bit more. Alright, so let's pause that and let's collect. This is definitely a good spot to remember. So we're going to collect it all. And they're going to go and bring it back. So now that I know I'm going to be collecting it, I don't need to sit here and watch them do it. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go back to the original industrial area. There it is. And as soon as I see, there it is, right away, since I have some, I'll let the drones finish off their job, but I can start doing my thing right away. So I'm going to go into build mode, and I'm going to start preparing for that. In order to get to the end result, we're going to use industrials, and here we go, elemental depot and foundry depot. So once I have collected my oids, an oid must be processed through the elemental depot. Minerals must be processed through the foundry depot. The end result, if we go back to our generator, are these pieces. P-trans panel, depository blueprints, generator unit AI, generator unit collector, small oid, insulated oid frame. Okay, so that's the end result, and we need to do that through our industrials. So we have oids to the elemental depot. Now, where exactly am I going to place this? It must be placed adjacent to the storage. It has to. You can't have a space. It has to be adjacent to the storage. Now, what's going to happen afterwards is the foundry depot, sorry, the elemental depot, which is here, the foundry depot, which I'll put up here. So from the storage to the foundry, and the foundry needs to send it somewhere else. Where do they send it? They send it to another storage. So because they need to send it to another storage, that second storage that it's going to will go to the assembly depot. Now basically the assembly depot is like the fork between the foundry and the elemental. So you can see how it's going. It's a branch. So basically what I need here is I need more storages. Now either I can put one to make it compact, meaning between the two, foundry and elemental. they both are processed in here, and from here it'll go through the assembly depot. So let's let that run. I'm just going to remove this so you can see in the background. So actually they're pretty occupied right now collecting. Oh, no, one of them, they finished their collecting job, and here they go. Alright, so I'm building it along the wall. You don't have to. You can build a nice tight little corner here. So I'm building along the wall. So now we have our pieces that are going, and you can kind of see how it's going to end up. Now from here, from the elemental depot, from the assembly depot will be producing things from this storage, and it has to send it somewhere. Well, so it has to send it to another storage. We're going to put that in front. I'll let that go. Actually, looks a bit like a spaceship. So in your designs, if you want to make them more like something specific, you go right ahead. You know, when it comes to that contest I was talking about, if you want to make your factory look like something specific, and you want to have fun with that, go right ahead. This is going to get very big as you progress. Right now we're keeping it tight, like we said. So the original terrain is in here. It's processed through the depots. From here it gets sent to the other one, and from there the final one is our special depositories, and that will be the end result. Now I'm doing it in a line just to make it easier for you guys to see what's going on here. Of course, like I said, you can change your design. So the utility drone is going to bring that one there, and here it is. So of course from that one, this is going to be producing everything. It is producing, sorry, where's our build mode? It is going to be producing all the other depositories. Where does it go? After it produces it, it needs to put it in the final storage. So it didn't even complete yet, but it's fine. Let's save some time here. And let's put it in there. So I'm really stretching it long against the wall here. You don't have to, like I said, keep it compact. But it's basically just setting everything up here. So there he goes. And there it is. And you can see some achievements come up at the same time. So we've just placed our main factory, the mainframe depository. This one is the most important. It is the key of the game. You lose this, you basically die. So we don't want that to happen, right? So this one will also be protected. All right, so we have our elements here. It's ready to go with the constructs. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to wire everything. So thanks for watching. And also, aside from wiring everything, what we're going to do is we're going to continue in building our generator unit depot and the gather unit depot, and preparing ourselves for our first wave. So we'll speak to you in the next video.